In this part of the test, you're going to listen to 2 recordings and answer some questions. You're listening to a program about a documentary filmmaker called Polly Jones. Listen to the first part of the program about a documentary film made by Polly and answer these questions. You can make notes if you want to. Candidate A. What is the name of the film the woman is working on now? And who does she most want to watch her film? Candidate B. How many families are involved in making the film? And how often will the woman go back and film them? Listen to the first part of the program. Polly Jones does her own thing. Her usual approach is to work alone, just her and her subject, with a small camera and without the usual crew of professionals that most documentary filmmakers have. And her one-to-one filming method has produced award-winning material, such as her first film, Holiday. Polly's latest undertaking, called Making a Home, will document lives of 4 immigrant families living in 3 major cities in the UK. The film aims to show what it's like to start a new life in a new country. In the film, we see 11-year-old Asim, who has come to join her mother in Yorkshire from Kazakhstan. Though she speaks some English, she's having problems at school. Polly thinks that the film will appeal to people of all ages, but is particularly keen for young people to see the film and start to understand how life can be for kids like Asim. In this film, Polly will follow the challenges and joys of the family's lives. Polly and her camera will revisit them again every year over a period of 5 years to find out what they make of the UK and how they settle in. Candidate A. What is the name of the film the woman is working on now? And who does she most want to watch her film? Candidate B. How many families are involved in making the film? And how often will the woman go back and film them? Now listen to the second part of the program, where Polly talks about filming the documentary and answer these questions. Again, you can make notes if you want to. Candidate B. How did most of the families feel about communicating through translators? And what was the most effective way they found to communicate? Candidate A. How did the families react when the woman spoke their languages? And what did the families think about the first part of the film? Listen to the second part of the program. The families spoke very little English when they arrived, so communicating during the first year was quite a challenge. I tried using translators to work with the families, but this seemed to make them more nervous, and I started to get frustrated. I also tried to speak a few words of Urdu and Russian. I hoped they'd be impressed at my attempts, but they just laughed at me. So I found that the best way in the end to get the message across was just by drawing pictures, and it was really fascinating just how much we could communicate to each other like that. Making this film's been a great opportunity to meet these wonderful people, and I'm enjoying looking at the UK through their eyes. When the first part of the documentary was finished, I showed it to each of the families in turn. I was worried at first that they didn't like it because they were so quiet, but to my great relief it turned out that they all loved it, and I'm deeply impressed by how objective they were about it. I'm really getting to know so much more about them. Candidate B. How did most of the families feel about communicating through translators? And what was the most effective way they found to communicate? Candidate A. How did the families react when the woman spoke their languages? And what did the families think about the first part of the film?